I planned on doing this video anyway at some point, sometime, somewhere in the future, and I never got around to it. And then somebody asked me in a comment how they compare. Well, I'm not going to do how they compare, but I will show you how to install it. My previous experience with this was not positive overall, but it wasn't overly negative. It was just, okay, it's here. At that time, it was incredibly unstable, and the random dungeon finder works. I'm told it's much more stable now, and no one's really complaining a lot. So, yeah, that's probably more fixed. But it looks like the random dungeon finder doesn't work, so I'm not even going to bother playing it, as that's one of the more important things to me. But when I did play it, a lot of things were scripted well. The Lich King quests did not seem to work. You would have to do GM commands to complete the quests. A lot of them, excuse me, a lot of them did work. So, like the eye one where you're floating around, that one didn't work at all. So, yeah, it might work now. I don't know. But to get it, you just go to singleplayerproject.com, find the SPP Classics Updated, scroll down to find the installer, and you download that. You can also go to the Discord page, the GitHub tracker, and the GitHub project. And there's some information there on how to use it. I already downloaded it and put it on my desktop. And it's just a 7-zip executable file. It just extracts everything automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. Excuse me. Okay, so you download it and extracted it. Now we just go into the directory and run server update. You'll download some files here. This will depend on the network connection, not just on your end, but also on the other end. And if you're ever curious on what this does, you could just right-click on it and edit, and it'll tell you the batch file information. One of the big differences between this one and the previous repack that I did on Trinity Core, Kyle's, I believe it was, or K-Hyle, I don't remember, is that the launcher is much different. It's not point and click, it's just choose the numbers from the menu. One thing you're going to see pop up here is that, on my side anyway, is that I don't have a sound card set up on this virtual machine, and the audio doesn't transfer. As you can see here down, I got the little X. So I'm going to get audio errors with the menu. Don't care. You can just turn off the audio. And then right there is the error. You just OK on that, and OK on that. Get the credits. And now it's going to download the update for the website. Apache 2 and probably the whatever, the scripts for connecting to the databases. And you just wait for it. You'll notice the URL at the top is not correct either. It's not a big deal. Just always go to singleplayerproject.com. The Discord isn't too bad. Sometimes gets a little toxic, but that's mostly because probably the admins get the same questions over and over and over again. I get it. Here there's different change logs. We're not going to go through them. I already looked through them, and it doesn't fix anything I want. It does seem to fix some of the crashes, though, so that's good. So we just hit enter to get to the menu. And the first thing I want to do is turn the music off, so that's 0. You probably want to do that too, just so you don't get annoyed with it. Next thing, we're going to go into the service menu. And this will install some dependencies you may or may not have. If you have a 64-bit system, you want to select 2. If you have a 32-bit system, you want to select 3. If you have a newer computer, like the past 5 years, I can almost guarantee you have a 64-bit system. Before that, it's probably x64, 64-bit, but you'll want to check. If you ever can't find out, the 32-bit ones will work. So we want to go ahead and select 2 to install them. And just an FYI, I did run these through VirusTotal. They came up clean. If it's something you're worried about, you probably already have these. It's just one of those things. Yeah, if you don't have them, it's going to crash repeatedly. Okay, we got that done. We just want to hit 0 to go back. But now you see we have 3 options here for expansions. We have Vanilla, World of Warcraft. We have the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. I haven't used the first 2. I planned on it, but I never got around to it. And transferring characters between them is a pain in the butt. So yeah, if you play Vanilla all the way to 60, transferring it over to Burning Crusade is kind of an issue. But you do not need to install all 3 to play Wrath of the Lich King. You just need to install Wrath of the Lich King. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and 3. It'll tell us that you don't have it currently downloaded. Please wait. Extracting, and it'll download a bunch of stuff. And you can always see what it's doing if you go into what it's downloading, the server, databases, and it'll show you what it's downloading. You can also go into server binaries, and you can see it's downloading that. Anyway, so I think it's about 3 gig download. You can see I'm only getting 25 megs a second. I think it goes up. I had it at 50 at one point. So it kind of depends on the speed at the other end. Oh, it says on top it's a gig and a half. So yeah, if you have at least a 500 gig connection, this won't take too long. If you have less than that, of course, it'll take longer, but you'll still get it. Just take some time. I did try to play official last year, I think it was, and oh my god, is it horrible. It is downright bad. I can't understand why people like these new expansions. Pretty much anything after Cataclysm looked horrible. And I didn't like Cataclysm either. That's when I quit. I quit playing when I was in the alpha test of Burning Crusade, or I'm sorry, Cataclysm. It looked beautiful compared to Wrath of the Lich King. It looked great, but they dumbed it down too much. And from what I can tell, that has been the progression. They dumb it down every time. So it's if you're like me and we're playing competitive, like trying to get world first in raids and such, it took a lot of the difficulty out of that. You just had to be a decent player. You didn't have to choose the right talents and such. You had to know what you were doing. Not just knowing not to stand in fire. I was surprised how many people just stand in fire. You know, stand in fire, acid, you stand in the... I always called it just standing in fire whenever you do something stupid and you don't get out of the way of damage. But I also, when I quit, WoW, the Star Wars: The Old Republic and Star Trek Online were coming out. Star Trek Online was pretty awesome until it went free to play. Once it went free to play, it went downhill. And Cryptic sold, it got bought out like once, and then I think it went to Perfect World or something like that, and they got bought out or they merged, and I can't even get my account to work anymore, which is a pain because I bought the lifetime membership like before it came out, and yeah, and the deluxe editions and all that fun stuff. I loved it. Then it went free to play, and it went horrible. And the same thing with Knights of the Old Republic, or the Old Republic, not Knights of. Um, Great game, really great game. And then they went free to play and microtransactions and such. Oh my god, it was horrible. One guy I know that was playing it, he came in kind of late. Like I think the game came out in like what 2009, 10, 12, somewhere around in that area. And he got into it like in 2014 or somewhere around there, and he put money into buying color crystals, which you don't want to do that. But I plan on playing some of that soonish, and maybe doing some videos on that as well. I have some other videos from back when on my other channel that I might pull over to this one. That go over some of the weird things that would happen. Like PvP in that game is what I did. I never really did any. I don't know what they call them there, encounters or raids. I don't know what they call them. But the PvP was a lot of fun, and we got into an arena match, and there were 4 of us, and we were all healers, and we were playing all DPS, and it went down to the wire, and we actually won. It was great. It was awesome. We didn't. It was just a fun match. Okay, maps found. Checking version. Existing okay. Skipping download. Perfect. And now it's just getting the SQL files ready for the MySQL server. Now it's installing the SQL. It would be nice if you could just download one package to install it and then run the update. That way you wouldn't have to download so much stuff. But if you do it this way, then you get the most updated stuff. So whatever. If you guys are watching this, the creators of this, maybe make that an option. Just to save people like me some time. That way I just have to extract it, run the update, and get a few updates if needed, and then go. Let's see, what else is new? Oh, I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot. The game crashes a lot, and I'm not sure why. I don't want to say a lot. Like, I'll be in a match, or I'll be going into like a co-op match or a PvP match, and then right before it goes in, it'll crash back to the desktop. And sometimes when I'm just coming out of a match, you check all your scores and stuff, and then if you were to hit the quit button to go back to the main menu, it'll crash to the desktop. It doesn't happen all the time. It just happens sometimes. I can't figure out what the common denominator is. The only thing I could figure is I usually have YouTube running in the background, to catch up on news and stuff like that, or watch. There's a guy out there who does a lot of VR videos about how silly VR is, and it's great. But yeah, that's the only thing I can figure is that is causing the issue. Best guess. I'm just sort of making that up. But I kind of plan on doing some videos with doing some co-op missions. I just got my sniper up the whole way, my one sniper rifle, and I don't get a lot of score, but when I do decently, I get a lot of kills. Headshots where I'm at, and I don't like using heroes very often, unless it's Aiden, who's the main character of the campaign. She's pretty awesome. I love her in that game. And I finally figured out how to use Captain Phasma too. So too bad. Yeah, I should have paused this and just came back to it, but at least you get to see what's going on here, and I get to BS about other games. The Roblox, I kind of stopped playing, which is sad because I put a few bucks into getting the Mandalorian and the Force powers. Thankfully, I didn't. I only put like $12 into it or 15, but yeah, I might start getting into it a little bit again. The only problem with doing videos on that is I have to turn the audio off for the game because you can't turn the music off, and it is copyrighted music. So, yeah. And that's not very fun. It sort of takes some of the immersion out for people watching. But it is a fun game, you know. Okay, so we're back here. And of course, we get this error right away. And this is because the Apache does not include these for some reason or other. Okay. Apache doesn't include these for some reason. So we just hit OK on that, OK on that, OK on that. And we just go back to the, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. And we just shut down the repack. And you wait for it. Now I'll show you the files you need. I am not going to put them up anywhere to download because I'm not sure what the license is for this. So, but I will leave it here for you so you can see. And then you need to go into your repacks. The single player repack, SPP server, server, tools, Apache 2.4. It's 24, but whatever. Bin. And then you just copy all the DLLs and paste them into that directory. Copy here, I guess. I got an extra one in there for some reason, but let's just skip it. Okay, and then now the website will work. So let's go back to the start, server start. And I think we already did the service menu, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. And we're just going to start Wrath of the Lich King, so 3. And then one thing to note here, when you want to edit the config files, you can just go into 4. And you'll get all the settings here. So if you hit 1, it'll open up the config file for you. A little different than the Trinity Core one, but the config files are pretty much the same. So I'm not going to go over that again. There are a couple more though. The bot settings. I'm just going to open that up. And here are the settings for like how many bots and stuff like that. Now, one thing to keep in mind that was a change a few revisions ago. Let's say you set the min bots and the max bots to 1,000. Well, if you log into like a horde, you won't see half the bots, give or take, because they'll be on the alliance side. Before that, you could see them all, but now you can't. So yeah, that's an important thing to note. And the random dungeon fighter still does not appear to work. I am not going to test it until I notice this not yet implemented and why I is gone. Once I see that's implemented, then I'll maybe play it. That's just one of the big things for me that I want. Okay, so now we got that. Next thing we need to do, next thing I need to do, because I run this on a different system than my main system, I need to change the IP address. So we're going to go into 4 and then change server address. Now, if you don't know what your IP address is, you go into PowerShell or command prompt and you type in ipconfig. And you'll see mine there is 192.168.0.40. You want to, this isn't your public IP, this is your local IP for your internal network, not the one your ISP gives you. You only want to do that use that IP address if you want people from the outside world to come in. I am not going to go over that, but the basic idea is you set it to your static IP or your ISP's IP. Then you have to change your firewall or your router to allow the ports to go to your internal system, your server system, and then everyone will have to connect to that IP address in the Realm server. Now, in order for you to do that from your internal network to come back around, go out to the outside, come into your ISP's IP, you will need to have NAT loopback or hairpinning, whatever you want to call it, on your router. I specifically bought a router so I can have that because by default, almost no ISPs give you that option. Or in the router, you have to get a separate router to do that. Okay, so my IP address is 192.168.0.40, and I'm just going to type that in here. And again, if you're playing it on the same system, oops, not 40. If you're playing it on the same system that you're installing it on, you don't need to do this. Perfect. Now we just go ahead and start the server. So 2. Well, let's check, let's go ahead and do M so you can see the website first. And you'll see the information on the website. And it also has some changelog stuff here, but it's kind of out of date. So I don't know if there's a way to update that or if it automatically updates. I'd never really look at it. And it has an armory on it too, which is pretty cool. I'll let you play around with that. You just want to use your whatever account you created for it in there. So we're just going to go ahead and minimize that because we're going to look at that again here in a little bit. So now let's go ahead and start server. I'm going to start the MySQL, the Realm, and the world server for you. In this repack, they don't call it the world server, they call it Mango server or something like that. And you'll see here they have the website updated on the individuals, but it doesn't seem like they have it on the main menu. It's not a big deal. It doesn't affect performance or anything like that at all. Now, this repack does take a little bit longer to load than the previous ones. And I even have it on a solid state on my server. I bought a 25 base server with, I think it has 24 cores in it right now, which I'm probably going to upgrade to, I'm sorry, it has 24 virtual cores. And I'm probably going to upgrade that to 40 at some point that will actually use less power than these ones and make less heat, which is kind of important for me right now because I have it in my closet and it gets a little hot in there. Now you're going to get a lot of errors like this. I complained about it and on the Discord and on the website, and I kind of just got told to shut up. The Discord's halfway toxic, and it's not really meant to be that way. I don't think much of it isn't. You get these trolls coming in, but the creators and such, they get a little upset, or at least it comes off that way. They might not be actually. It just comes off that they're upset, and don't take offense to it if they are, unless they start calling you names, because they get the same questions over and over and over and over again. And if you ever worked any customer service or if you have developed anything people are providing support for and blah, 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 it's going to happen. Even if you put it in change logs or on the website or whatever, you're still going to get the questions and it's still going to drive you nuts. So, yeah. And you can see it created a whole bunch of bots. And it tells you there's no characters currently. Now on this menu over here, you can do create an account. it just tells you to type an account into here, basically. And it's the same as Trinity Core. They purposely tried to make them the same. Generally speaking, from the user side, so that there's just less questions, you know. Unlike Microsoft, when they go to 3.1 to Windows 95 to Windows 98 to Windows XP to Windows 7, and we're not going to talk about Vista, and all the way up, they change the stuff, and a lot of it doesn't flow over. Thankfully, through Windows 10 so far, they left the classic control panel, which is so much better than the new settings. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. Hopefully they leave it that way in Windows 11. I am not upgrading to Windows 11 until I have to, or if there's a specific feature I actually need. I just don't like where software is going in general. Anyway, everything's going subscription. I spent more money on Adobe products this past year than it would have cost me to buy a standalone version of it, and I should have just went back to CS6 and CS. I got a good license of CS5.5, and I have a borrowed license of 6 through work. So I should have just went back to that instead of getting the new stuff. But the new stuff does have new features that it's not worth paying $50 a month for, but it's nice to have. So, and we're still waiting for the world server to load. Given the first time, it is taking a little bit longer. So don't get discouraged. But it still does take longer than the Trinity Core. And a lot of that just has to do with bots. So deal with it is pretty much what you got to do. Not much you can do to fix that. I think I have, how many cores do I have dedicated to this? Nope, that's not right. Summary view. No, right click, change graph to logical. I have 8 cores dedicated to this out of my 24. And I have 16 gigs of memory dedicated to it. And you can see it's not even getting close. You don't need more memory unless you're getting close to your limit of memory. So if anyone tells you that you need more memory to speed up something, if you're not hitting this cap, it's not going to make a difference. It's not. The only way it would make a difference is the memory speed itself, and if you have them configured correctly on your motherboard. On my main system, I currently don't. It's just the way my motherboard is physically laid out. I can't set up the dual channel properly. I have to get a different heatsink, and I haven't really noticed any issue with it. So, yeah, that's that. Yep, still going. I might go ahead and do that. So, what we need to do on the client side, this video has gone a little bit longer simply because we have to wait. I thought about pausing it and then coming back, but screw that. I don't want to do it. Okay, so just like Trinity Core, you need to go into your no, that's not it. WTF, where's the realm? No, that's not it. Not data, I always forget where it's at. It must be under WTF. Config. That's not it. Where is it? Oh, it looks like the server is about loaded now, if it's not already. I am. Okay. Oh yeah, it's up. So we want to find the, that's not it. The heck is it? Okay, it's under data ENUS. You got to go to your realm list edit the realm list WTF. I suggest making a copy first, and that is because so you don't break it. And mine is broken. Notepad++. My Notepad++ just crashed. I have never had that happen before. And it did again. Okay. Open. There we go. Okay, so you just want to set your ROM list to the IP address you assigned it to, just like all the other ones. So now I have to create an account. So we're just going to do account, create, name, password. Account created Joe, and then we need to set GM level Joe 3, I think. Account set GM level Joe 3. Nope. Account GM level username 3. Let's see. Syntax. Nope. Account. I'm going to get this. Account set GM level username 3. There we go. Finally got it. So now, and the problem, it's hard to see what you're typing because all the errors popping up and all the bot actions. So we're just going to go ahead and minimize that. And you can see the CPU usage on it right now is pretty low because I think it only has 500 bots loaded, so 250 per each. So now I'm going to go ahead and load up the game. And I have no characters. We're just going to create a character. Don't care what it is. And you're going to get all my add-ons messing up here. Oh, I got the shadow in the background. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So I got to turn all those add-ons off. So just give me a moment. Just disable them all because we don't care. And you'll see all these bots running around. Pretty cool, right? You just do a who, and you'll see everyone's level 1. So we're just going to take the zone off. Let's do a who for everybody. And you'll see you got some mid-level characters. Let's see, let's change our level to change our level to 27. So just do a dot level 27. Nope, I changed them to 27. He changed me to 27. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and try Random Dungeon Finder, and let's see if it works. Yeah, I'll join that guild. See the bots, they're playing pretty good like regular people. Okay, now I'm in the queue. No. And you'll see, even though there's players available, they won't join the queue. Can't do much about it. Hopefully they get this working. Maybe if they see this and I'm doing something wrong, they can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, that's it. Now, okay, so this video is, we're done. Okay, we're done doing the video. We're all good. We're all set. I wonder what my frame rate is without limiting it. Only 100. I wonder what my video settings are at. Oh, it's set to the highest. Is there a shadow? I don't remember if there's a shadow. Yeah, shadows are one thing that really eat up your usage, and I don't like shadows, so I often just turn them off anyway, if it's an option. So, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, the commands and such are pretty much the same. You do have more bot commands though, so. So that's it. This video shouldn't. It took a long time, and it's not because it's hard. It's because the download. Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason why it took so long. You pretty much just go. Okay. We're gonna quit this, and the bots talk. It's pretty cool. You got to change the spam level and stuff, but it's pretty neat. Okay, so we're done here. But let's say they released an update and you don't have it. Let's just go ahead and go to shutdown repack. And you want to shut it down this way, if at all possible. That way it saves all the characters properly and such. Okay, so now they say they did an update. You just run the server update. It'll log into Git and check to see if there's anything new. And if so, it'll download it. It's pretty much done. I don't remember if it keeps your settings though. I think it does. I think it does. I'm not going to sit here and wait for it. Oh, there it goes. So it says update complete. We're already up to date. If we get any errors here, then we just run the server fix. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and start up the world server again. 2. And I want to show you the website. I'm just dragging this video out longer for some reason, but the website will show you how many characters are online and where they're at. It's pretty neat. I like it. They did really well with this repack. And it seems like the crash issue is working a little bit better now. So if I start playing again, maybe I'll just start playing with this. And so I get the feel that I'm social. Okay. We're just going to go ahead here and just hit reload. Reload. It still says it's offline, so we just gotta wait. Oh, with this too, you want to set your realm to PvE instead of PvP. It's just in the config file, the Mango's config. I ran into some bots that just tried to nuke me. I don't know if it was supposed to happen that way, but they did. So, really cool. This repack is really cool. If Random Dungeon Fighter was in it, I would have been playing it probably exclusively. Oh, and if it didn't crash all the time. But I might let it run. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let it run for a few days. And then just come back and see if it crashed. I'm guessing it probably will. And we'll find out. It's just simply because of the bots filling up databases and such. Let's reload this, see if it says it's up yet. Nope. I didn't think it would. And this is pretty much the speed it'll go now when it's loaded. The more bots you get in there, it might take a little bit longer. But it shouldn't be that bad, you know. Probably 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how fast your system is. And like I said, I got 8 cores dedicated to it, running at over 2 gigahertz each, with 16 gigs of RAM, and on a solid state. So that might give you an idea. If you got faster processors, then yay. I noticed that I don't know if it's supposed to be, because I think the server's single threaded, but the bots do seem to take up the rest of the cores, so that's bonus. I might go ahead. No, I'm not going to bother. I was going to say I might go ahead assign more cores to it, but I have other services running on my server too that I don't want to take away from. And a lot of the errors you get in this window are because the bots are trying to use spells and such they don't have. And I'm wondering if it might be just because they got different talents, like a priest, discipline, trying to cast Mind Flay or something like that. That might be what it is. I don't know. That seems like reasonable to me. So if it's that, then it's just a scripting error for that class. Just guessing. I really don't know. I've only done I've only done what you've seen in my videos as far as creating and doing different, more advanced things with WoW emulation. I haven't done any of the coding, actual scripting. I've done a little bit, but not enough to figure that one out. And we're almost there. And that's work. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'll be right back. Sometimes it seems like I'm busier on days I take off from work. Okay, so we got the server all started up, and we're going to go ahead and check the website. And you'll see it says 0 online, and the server is offline. And now we see it's online, and we have 427 people on. That's because of the bots. And there's 501 accounts with 5,000 characters. So 10 characters per account. Realm status shows it's up, and population 0, because they don't, for this part, it only shows how many actual physical real people are online. Players online. Now it'll show you every person that's online. There is a option here, characters, player map. Here it is. And it'll show you where the players actually are. Like there's that many people in that zone. There are this many people we never saw. I don't think it shows. North Rend there's 11 people. Outland there's 4. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see North Rend. But yeah, you get that. That's a pretty cool thing to look at. Statistics tells you how many on Alliance, how many on Horde. You see it's pretty balanced. And Armory. I don't know what to name my characters, so we'll just do a search. And the Armory basically works. Pretty cool, huh? So this is a nice complete repack. It does have pretty much everything you want in it, and as long as it's not crashing, it's pretty good. As long as you don't, random dungeon finder isn't a huge thing for you. Solo crash might be working. Oh no, it's not, because we didn't get a queue. But the arena is working. Well, it was. Let me load it back up here. We'll just double check. Not arena, battlegrounds. Okay, so it's nope, that's not it. Battlegrounds. Okay, it doesn't have random yet, so we'll just go ahead and select basin. And eventually it should load. We're just going to let it sit for a minute. So yeah, these people are just running around doing their thing. Pretty neat. I think it is anyway. And they're generally, the pathing and everything is generally pretty good. I'm rather impressed. Let's select this one too. See this guy attacking wolves. Then he runs you out of the range. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. That does that. Usually Q pops up by now. For some reason it's not. I guess it's only been a minute. And there's not, there's not many people at my level. So I'm going to say it works. It's just that there's not people at my level or bots at my level are enough to make it happen. So I'm going to say it works. But if it doesn't, don't blame me. Blame Joe Biden. I don't blame somebody. I don't care who. So yeah, you should be all set. I think let's go back to here. And I think you can log in here too. Don't save. Yeah, and you can do it like a lot of other things. So, yep, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. It really helps get my channel going. I'm rather impressed with the amount of views I've been getting this past week. Actually, I went from getting like 10 views a day. Now I'm getting like 70 in just the past week. I don't know what I did differently. So yeah, but only about 1% of you that are viewing my videos are subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe. If you don't like some of the content I'm putting out, we'll just turn off that notification bell and you won't see it as often in your playlist. So I appreciate it. And also share this out to people who you think might benefit. So yep, that's it. Have a good day. I'm probably going to record other videos later. So yep, enjoy.